In Georgia, at least 2,000 people have died in fighting over the past 48 hours. President Bush calls the violence unacceptable, and Vice President Cheney warned that Russian aggression must not go unanswered. Tony Valdez is here with more on the conflict. Tony.
For the fourth time in as many days, Susan, the UN Security Council met today to discuss the fighting. The U.S. ambassador to the UN claimed that Russia's foreign minister told Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice that Georgia's president had to be thrown out of office. Russia's ambassador to the UN denied that allegation. Meanwhile, halfway around the world, the conflict raged on today. Despite the offer of a ceasefire from Georgia, Russia continued to pound Georgian military units in and around South Ossetia, the breakaway province that's received military backing from Russia, while the U.S. supports Georgia's push for a unified country. Georgia went to the United Nations today for help.
Georgia is calling this institution the highest international legitimate authority in the world for immediate diplomatic and humanitarian intervention to protect Georgia from Russian ongoing aggression and occupation.
Russia's ambassador told the UN Security Council Georgia has to pull its military out of South Ossetia and sign an agreement not to use force in the province. The U.S. in turn condemned Russia's involvement in Georgia.
The days of overthrowing leaders by military means in Europe, those days are gone.
Georgia's president concurs.
This is the most surreal world crisis I could ever imagine.
The violence is endangering regional peace. Civilian lives have been lost, and others are endangered. This situation can be resolved peacefully.
On the ground in Tbilisi, Georgia's capital, the French foreign minister offered a plan for peace.
Ceasefire first, access to the victims second, third, withdrawal of the troops, control withdrawal of the troops. Force coming back to the table, negotiation, peace talk, political solution. That's it. Sorry, easy to say, very difficult to do.
In today's military action, Russia claimed to have sunk a Georgian boat that was trying to attack its ships in the Black Sea. Russian bombers attacked the Tbilisi airport just about a half an hour before the arrival of European diplomats, Meanwhile, Georgia claims it repelled Russian tanks that were moving toward the embattled city of South Ossetia. Jeff?
All right, Tony, thank you very much. The conflict is having a ripple effect on the Georgian communities around the world. Here in Southern California, local Georgians hit the streets today trying to shine a spotlight on the tragedies taking place in their homeland. Gigi Graciette is live in the Fairfax district with local reaction. Gigi.
Well, Georgians living in Los Angeles are a very tight-knit community, and since their country is relatively small, almost everyone here knows someone there that's being affected by the conflict. A conflict they say has now turned into an all-out war. To these Georgians living in Los Angeles, what's happening 7,000 miles away in their homeland is personal, very personal.
I'm sad when I know my 85 years old grandma is living next to the parliament and there are some news that they hit the bomb. Yes, I'm sad. I want to cry.
Over 100 Georgians, joined by supporters, took to the streets today, desperate, they say, to bring the world's attention to the military conflict between Georgia and Russia.
It's a war. It's a serious war, and the world has to get involved in this and stop this now.
Behind every sign, a story of loved ones left behind, in danger, they say, because of Russia's military strength, which does not compare to Georgia's.
And I see these people helpless, lying on the street. They're asking for help. They need help. They need ambulance. They need medical supplies. And Russia, right now, they're blockading Georgia.
All the people that I know there are scared for their lives.
And while leaders from around the world have condemned Russia's actions, these Georgians say at this point, words aren't enough. They want the U.S. to send help, the military kind.
I wanted them to get in the air and tell the Russians, okay, here we come, big boys with big boys, you know? Do you want to fight? Let's show what you guys
want the United States to go and defend Georgia.
Why not?
More protests are planned for the next coming days, with a big one scheduled to be held tomorrow in San Francisco, where there is a Russian consulate. Reporting live from the Fairfax district, Gigi Graciette, Fox 11 News.